Good morning. It is 11:18, 7:21 a.m. Let's recap. Let's recap my last video here, which had a whopping 8 views. I am on my way. May 31st is the last time that I posted. I want to see where these prices are now today. Let's see, the last video was basically trying to explain if you can find properties on the MLS, and I can tell you, yes, you can. You can find deals on the MLS. I find them all the time. So let's go to 3905 Starflower Court. Let's do that. Let's just check this out. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into Zillow, and we're going to see what happened to this puppy right here. If I go to this house right here, you can see that it was listed for $225 in May 31st. Now, if you're going to buy it to live in it, it's great. If you're going to buy it to rent it, it's going to be totally different. I'm going to go over the scenarios today of what makes a good property. Okay, so let's just look at this real quick. 225 was the asking price. Let's see what it actually sold at. If you scan down here, ta-da! Pending sale was $225 listed. It sold for $255. So that tells me right now it went into a bidding war. Right? Multiple offers on the table. Sold and closed about a month after. If you came in at asking, you didn't get it. So what can you tell me about this property? I can tell you by looking at it right now, a flipper got a hold of it. And he sold it for $339. So he bought it at $255. And that probably didn't include closing costs. So let's just add another $7,000 for closing costs. He's in at $262. Now, since he's in at $262, you're going to have to add construction costs in here. Judging by the pictures, he did a huge cleanup, did some tile, did some paint, did some backyard work, possibly put in a new garage door, which he did. Yeah, I can see that. Painted the exterior. Let's look at what it used to look like. Let's see. He did not do the roof. The roof's the same. So, dollar amount wise, you're probably going to fetch on this about 40 grand. So now he's in at 302. He's in at 302, and he listed it and sold it for 342. So again, it sold for more than he asked for it, right? So 342 500. Subtract 342 500. There's a total profit of $40,000. Now, that $40,000, he still has to pay closing costs, and he has to pay buyer's commission, right? So between closing costs and buyer's commission, I'm going to reduce 10,000 bucks. Whoops. So he's got a $30,000 profit margin. Now, out of that $30,000 profit margin, he still has to pay short-term capital gains tax on that, right? So you have $30,000 minus 20%. He's got to subtract another 6,000 bucks. So he did that work for a $24,000 payday. That's what he's got. $24,000 payday. So you took one house. You spent pretty quick, actually. From the time period he closed escrow was 6/21. I can tell you for sure this guy didn't pull one permit. Not one permit for any of the work he did. Did a lot of cosmetic stuff. Got it back on the market in 2 months. Sold it. Took a while though. Listed for sale on 8/19. Closed escrow on 10/4. Okay, so between the purchase date and the sale date, he had about 3 months. Take the 24,000 divided by 3. He made 8,000 bucks a month. That's what he made, 8,000 bucks a month. But he made money, and he brought the neighborhood up when he did this work. So that's what the numbers are in a flip. So a lot of people look at it and go, oh wow, he only bought it for 200,000 and then he sold it for 350,000, so he made all this. No, that's not the way it works. You have to look at all of the rest of the factors of why and how much did he actually make. That's what you're looking at. And you can see the inside of these. I mean, it was pretty effed up. So 40,000 is a reasonable estimate, because he did not do the roof. Roofs are expensive. They're about another $5,000 at least. So this is one of the ones I pointed out in my last video. And real estate's not for everybody. I'm telling you an avenue that I'm comfortable in. You can buy a turnkey and you can rent it. But the problems with buying a turnkey and renting it is, how much are you going to make positive cash flow? It's true, your renter is paying the mortgage on that. And if you're a long-term holder and you've got a good tenant in there, then it's going to work out. It's going to work out great. Let's look at this one, 4518 Baxter. Okay, so from the time period that we listed, $250. The asking price was $250 on a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, perfect rental, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, $250,000. Okay, it sold for $256 on 9/21. This was listed. Doesn't say. Doesn't say, but it has to be somewhere around May 31st. Let's see what transpired here. Hold on. You learn a lot from these sold reports. Okay, so these numbers right here, $800 is rental money per month. $800 a month, $950 a month, $950 a month, $1,100 a month. Look at the jump. Look at the jump here. All the way up to here. $1,950. Okay. This is 2021. So my guess is that something transpired where they couldn't rent it for hire. So they ended up just selling it. Could be one of two things, because look at the date. Listed for rent on 9/19 and closed escrow on 9/21. So the only thing that this tells me is that it could have been an agent buyer that immediately turned around and listed it for rent, because that was their sole intention anyway, is to get it rented. So they bought it for $256,888. So they bought it a little bit under Zillow's estimated price range. And the house is really, looks like it's cleaned up. Very rental quality, I would say, with a very high backsplash made out of the wrong tile. Kitchen cabinets are painted to the point where they painted right over the handles and they don't care. This is floor tile. There's no hood vent, which is illegal. This is really cheesy. They didn't even bother putting granite in. What they did was put tile in there and then put this trim border across the facing. So it's really, really rental style quality. They painted the exterior of the house. That was it. Carport's completely open. You'll find in Vegas there's a lot of block walls. You know, even though in theory, or I guess it's been proven that block walls don't add an R factor. R factor being thermal block. You could fill it full of concrete and it still doesn't add a thermal block, which is, it's kind of hard to believe, but that's just a really strange setup. Huge gaps underneath the door. Yeah. So this is what lower grade rental would be. So there's a lot of properties you can still find on the marketplace, but my prediction is that the entire Vegas market itself is going to go up. This particular house area, you can see in here, these are the solds. You can change this in Zillow and you can go for sale, for rent, or sold, right? So the rule of thumb here is that you want to look at the sold, right, in this particular neighborhood, and you can see that they're all over the place, but there's also a time span that matters for comps. Okay, so let's take this one. If I look at this 210 right here and I click the button, it's going to tell me that this sold on 6/21 in 2019. That was way too long ago, right? So we can go in here and we can tell it sold in the last 90 days and then done. So now it's different, isn't it? Where's the solds at? You don't see that. Let's zoom out. Here we go. you can see that the neighborhood actually went up. You have one straggler over here of 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, $200,000. That's sold, and it's a fixer beater. Not too bad, really. I mean, it's a Ford too, so I mean, how bad could it really be? That just needs a lot of cleanup. The roof, that roof right there, I can tell you right now, is a 3-tab, and you can shingle right over the top of it. You can shingle it. This shingle over is going to cost about $3,000 to $4,000 to do this roof, and then your roof looks brand new. I can tell you for sure that that air conditioning unit right there is brand new, and it looks like a Goodman, so that's a good thing. You can swap the windows out. You can take the shutters off or paint the shutters. You can spruce up the house. It's got a carport. You could do a desert landscape here so you don't have any grass. And you know, the rest of the neighborhood really doesn't look that bad. Yeah, this is a good rental for 200 grand. Yeah. Usually you don't even see grass in Vegas anywhere, but yeah, the street's not that bad. So $200,000. Let's see if this one's got one. I have a lot of this stuff saved on my main page, but this is not, I'm in a different system for this. Let's do the numbers. This will be fun. You have $200,000, right? That was the purchase price. Now, you do not want PMI. PMI is insurance. If you don't put 20% down, then you're going to end up with PMI. So, what is 20% of $200,000? 60 grand. So, well, actually, they have it at $60,000 to remove the 20% down. But that's not right. 10% of $200,000 is $20,000. 20% is $40,000. So this is incorrect. Okay, so your loan amount. Okay, 3.8 is not that bad. Over 30 years, let's start this in December. Okay. Property tax at $2,400. Let's look. Let's find out what our property tax is here. Let's close this down. Let's go to property tax. I love Zillow because they give you a lot of this information. You don't have to go search it out. Okay, property tax. 2021 property tax was $602. Okay. Now, because you just bought it and it's $200, it's probably going to go up. So I'm going to put in here $800, not $2,400. Okay. PMI is not required. Home insurance. This is going to be about $550. I know that. No HOA. Conventional type loan. Calculate. Your monthly payment is $858 per month. Okay? $858 per month. Okay, let's add up. Let's make sure their shit's right. Okay, so you got 858. which doesn't tell me whether or not this includes insurance or not. So we're going to add 66.67, and we're going to add 45.83, and now we're at 970. So that's what's going to run, 970. Okay, 970 is the mortgage payment. Now, what can we rent it for? See this? Estimated refi payment, 921. Okay, well, that's basically close to what we got. Let's see if it's got a rental on here. The rent, the guesstimated rent based on their database is about $1,636 a month. So you can see on this one that you're going to generate a cash flow. So if you take the monthly payment of $970, right, and you subtract 1,636 just for grins and giggles, you're going to make a positive cash flow of $665 per month. Take the 65, put it in an account that makes interest per month, and use this for emergency money for repairs, right? So you're making a positive cash flow of $600 a month on this property, but you're getting the write-off of the mortgage also, which between the write-off of the mortgage and the property depreciation over 27.5 years means that the $600 is free money. Free money. You don't have to pay tax on it because of the offset of the mortgage and the depreciation of the house. You see what I mean? That's how you make money. So you have tenants in there, and your tenants will be in there doing, you know, the standard thing, hopefully paying the rent, $1,600 a month. Meanwhile, you're pulling in $600 a month for every single month that they are paying that rent. And your mortgage on this property is going down every single month on a 3%. You see that? A huge chunk of, because it's the low interest rate, a huge chunk of the write-off that you're paying, that they're paying for you basically, is going to be eliminated. Like we're talking like $800. The rest is interest of that mortgage payment is getting knocked off of the total amount that you owe of that $200,000. The beauty of real estate, but by the time you know it, they've been in there 10 years. They've been in there 10 years and they're paying $1,686 times 12 times 10. They paid $202,000 of that mortgage. $202,000. They paid that to you. So by the time 10 years is over, you've almost completely paid this property in full. Well, they did. This is what I mean by having assets that pay you, and they don't just pay you monthly. They turn around and they pay you in the house right off also. It's a beautiful thing. Now, I have a speculation, because this is in Las Vegas, that because of the increase in the inflation rate, then this pricing of this house will definitely go up. In the 10 years of owning this property, you purchased at $200,000. It's probably going to go up at least, I would say, minimum 5% per year, unless the system crashes down and then goes back up. But even if this even if this real estate market crashed, you're at, I mean, how much could they possibly take out? You're at 200,000 bucks. You had $200,000 here, right? Even if it went down, let's say minus 35%, you lost 70,000 bucks. But did you lose 70,000 bucks? Because your renter's still paying money. You see what I mean? So it's business as usual. That $70,000 drop didn't do shit to you because, number one, you're still paying the mortgage. Number two, you still have a renter. So you ride the wave out, you let it recoup, and by the time it comes back, it's going to be worth $300,000. That's just the way it works. It always works that way. The object is to try to buy them as cheap as you possibly can and get people in there paying that monthly. It's almost like a cable company. Cable company comes in, they say, oh, welcome to the neighborhood. Here, I'll set you up with TV, internet, and phone. I'll give you a package deal, $175. Right? That $175 a month that they're bringing in, multiply that by 100,000 people. Now you get the gist. Is that's what you want to do with real estate. You just want to get them booked in and keep those rentals flying, because that's how you're going to make that wealth. I hope this little demonstration on my past video helped. There's a lot of different other avenues that you have to look at. I will try to cover as many as I can, and that's it for this one. Take it on the day.